It was supposed to be just another light-hearted episode of the beloved Korean variety show Let's Eat Dinner Together on JTBC. A charming duo, delicious food, and heartwarming conversations, the perfect formula that fans had come to expect from the show. But what unfolded during the most recent broadcast left fans, the production crew, and even the hosts stunned. This particular episode featured two of South Korea's most adored actors, Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin, known for their impeccable acting and undeniable on-screen chemistry. Who had previously worked together in the hit romantic drama Romantic Doctor, Teacher Kim 2, and since then, fans had quietly hoped the chemistry might extend beyond the screen. As soon as the episode began, there was a special energy in the air. Throughout the show, the chemistry between the two stars was evident. They laughed easily, teased each other playfully, and even exchanged small, knowing glances that didn't go unnoticed by fans. Netizens quickly took to social media, speculating about the nature of their relationship. One tweet that garnered over 10,000 likes read, "If Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin aren't dating, then love isn't real." The moment that would go down in Korean variety show history came during a quiet scene in the backyard of a local resident's home, where the cast and guests had just finished a hearty meal of samgyeopsal and kimchi jjigae. Under the soft glow of patio lights, and with the sound of crickets in the background, Yoo Yeon-seok turned to Chae Soo-bin and smiled. With a playful yet serious tone, he asked, "Soo-bin, if I were to ask you something serious right now, would you say yes?" The hosts froze. The crew froze. Even Chae Soo-bin froze. Chae Soo-bin blinked, visibly caught off guard. She let out a small laugh, the kind that escapes when you don't quite know how to react. "What kind of serious question?" she asked, narrowing her eyes with suspicion. Yeon-seok, still smiling but now slightly blushing, leaned in and said the words that no one expected to hear on a casual food show, "Chae Soo-bin, will you marry me?" The silence that followed was deafening. For a solid 5 seconds, no one said a word. The hosts exchanged incredulous looks. One of them audibly gasped. Somewhere in the background, a camera operator whispered, "Did he just propose?" And then came the moment that made fans fall in love with Chae Soo-bin all over again. She burst into laughter, covered her face with both hands, and when she finally regained composure, she said, "Only if you promise to do the dishes for the rest of our lives." The yard erupted in laughter. Yoo Yeon-seok joined in, clearly enjoying her witty response. It was the kind of moment that felt both surreal and incredibly authentic. Whether it was a real proposal or just a playful moment between two close friends, viewers were hooked. The producers later confirmed that the moment had not been scripted. One crew member, who chose to remain anonymous, said, "Had no idea that was going to happen." Even the hosts looked genuinely shocked. "We all thought he was joking at first, but then we saw his expression and thought, wait, is he serious?" Social media exploded almost immediately. Within minutes of the show airing, hashtags like #Yeon-seok proposal, #Soo-bin reply, and #Let's Eat Dinner Together trended in South Korea. International fans, too, joined the frenzy. On TikTok, reaction videos to the proposal moment started popping up with titles like "My jaw dropped when he said that," and "Is this real or am I dreaming?" Language experts were quick to analyze the interaction. One expert on YouTube dissected the scene frame by frame, pointing out the slight tremble in Yeon-seok's voice, the prolonged eye contact, and the subtle but significant way Chae Soo-bin smiled before replying. That wasn't acting, the expert concluded. It was genuine emotion. Meanwhile, media outlets scrambled to get quotes or comments from either actor's agency. Both remained silent for the next 24 hours, only fueling speculation. Fan forums and discussion boards buzzed with theories. Is this a clever publicity stunt? A spontaneous confession? Or perhaps the culmination of a quiet, off-screen romance finally brought to light? Part of what made the moment so endearing was Chae Soo-bin's response. It wasn't the simple yes or number. Was playful, unexpected, and perfectly in character with the actress's charming, down-to-earth personality. Fans dubbed it the cutest rejection ever, while others insisted it was more of a teasing yes, adding to the intrigue. An observant viewer noticed that after the laughter died down, Yoo Yeon-seok leaned over and whispered something to Chae Soo-bin, which made her blush even more. The microphones didn't catch the words. Lip readers online speculated he said, "I meant it." Days that followed, memes flooded the internet. One viral meme showed Yoo Yeon-seok with the caption, "Poses on a food show," and Chae Soo-bin responding with, "Only if you wash the dishes." It featured a side-by-side of their faces with a tagline, "Love, Laughter, and Leftovers." The charm of the moment lay not only in its spontaneity but also in the way it felt like a scene straight out of a romantic K-drama. Except this time, it was real life, or at least, it appeared to be. Whether or not there was any truth behind the proposal remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the nation, and much of the internet, had fallen head over heels for the idea of Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin as a couple. What started as a wholesome dinner show had transformed into a viral phenomenon overnight. As fans eagerly awaited any kind of follow-up from the stars, the world collectively asked, did he mean it? And what happens next? The internet was still buzzing the next day. Accounts replayed the moment over and over again, capturing every micro-expression, every breath, every smile. Even mainstream media outlets outside Korea picked up the story. Articles appeared with headlines like "TV Proposal Shocks Korea" and "Was That the Cutest Rejection Ever?" Fans and celebrities alike weighed in. Actors chimed in on Instagram and Twitter with their reactions. Actor Jung Kyung-ho commented, "This is why I never take my eyes off live broadcasts anymore." Actress Kim Ji-won jokingly wrote, "Soo-bin, you better say yes next time." Just when speculation reached fever pitch, Soo-bin broke her silence. She went live on Instagram, casually dressed in a hoodie, holding a mug of tea. The viewer count skyrocketed within minutes. "Okay," she said with a grin. "Didn't see that coming either." She laughed, obviously referring to the unexpected proposal. Yoo Yeon-seok is a very dear friend. We've worked together before and have stayed close. That moment on the show, it was wild. Viewers flooded the comments. Was it real? Was it scripted? Are you two dating? Soo-bin just smiled and read some of them aloud. Was that a real proposal? Depends. You think it was real? She teased, raising her eyebrows. Yoo Yeon-seok also had a public appearance scheduled a few days later for the press conference of his upcoming film. As expected, the proposal question came up immediately. Reporters swarmed him with curiosity. He simply smiled and said, "I'm glad people enjoyed the moment. I just spoke from the heart." He didn't deny it. He didn't confirm it. Fans loved every second of the ambiguity. Their interaction wasn't just about a one-time moment on television. For fans who had followed their careers, it felt like a culmination of years of chemistry, interviews, and subtle hints. Their behind-the-scenes clips from previous dramas always showed a special rapport. Now, it all seemed to make sense. Citizens started compiling a timeline of their relationship. Photos from award shows where they were seated together. Video clips from press tours where Yoo Yeon-seok looked at Soo-bin just a second too long. All of it was being reanalyzed under a new light. In the world of K-celebrity culture, romance is never simple. With immense public scrutiny, dating can have real consequences for actors. Agencies often respond swiftly to any rumors. But in this case, both stayed quiet. It only added to the mystery. And that's part of what made the moment so magical. Whether orchestrated or spontaneous, fans were treated to a scene so genuine, so heart-fluttering, it blurred the line between fiction and reality. For many, it didn't matter whether they were really dating. What mattered was the joy it brought, the giggles, heartbeats, the imagination. In a media landscape often dominated by scandal or superficiality, this moment stood out. It reminded viewers why they fell in love with variety shows and romantic K-dramas in the first place. It was hopeful. It was human. As of now, there's been no official confirmation about the relationship. But if you ask fans, tell you, Yoo Yeon-seok proposed. Chae Soo-bin replied. And in that reply, filled with humor, warmth, and just the right touch of flirtation, she said it all. It wasn't a yes, maybe it wasn't a number, but it was perfect. And for now, that's enough.